is showdown time at Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, for the meeting between the Cowboys and the Redskins. The loser is out. The winner is in the playoffs. Not a ticket available anywhere in this area. Billy Kilmer, on the right side of your picture, having a great year. Pulls the trigger for the Redskin offense. Charlie Taylor, his prime target, number 2 receiver in the NFC. Can set an all-time receiving record today. If he catches 3, he'll break Don Maynard's record. For the Cowboys, Drew Pearson is the man that Roger Staubach goes to in clutch situations, and Roger's having a great year, too. Gilmer and Staubach, number 2, and number 3, quarterbacks in the NFC. Good afternoon from Texas Stadium. I'm Pat Summerall. This is Tom Brookshire. There is so much excitement here today, I feel like I'm about ready to play.
Well, I think you and I got taped up, Ed, just to make sure. I do think we ought to mention that even though Charlie Taylor is the great receiver, a young Frank Grant has been their big one. He's the 21-yard average per catch receiver, and I imagine the Cowboys will double him rather than Charlie Taylor.
That's what they've been doing. There is one key injury, I think, Tommy, perhaps we should mention. That is the fact that Pat Fisher, the fine veteran cornerback of the Redskins, is not dressed, will not play. His place will be taken on the corner by Bryant Salter, and that could make a difference.
And, of course, Mel Renfro won't be at the corner for the Cowboys. At least we didn't think he ran very well. And I also look for the Grasshoppers to perhaps win a game like this. The special teams guy, either a Golden Richards or maybe a Larry Jones.
I think you could be right. It ought to be a great one. We'll be ready for the kickoff in today's game in just a moment.
Okay, we got any changes here? Let's see. Brundage is back. Okay.
Okay, who won the toss, you know?
Must have been Dallas won the toss.
I'll find out in a minute. All right. That's about the only place that's empty in Texas Stadium, that big hole in the roof. Not a ticket available. Redskins 8-4. The Dallas Cowboys 8-4 as the captains meet in the middle of the field. The indication now that Dallas has won the toss. They will receive. The officials today, the referee is Chuck Heberling. The umpire is Frank Sinkovitz. Head linesman Al Sabato. The line judge is Bruce Alford. The back judge Charles Reed. And the field judge is Bill Stanley. Packed house at Texas Stadium. And as has become tradition here, the terrific trumpet of Tommy Loy will play the national anthem for us in just a moment. Again, Dallas has won the toss, and they, of course, have chosen to receive.
We invite you to join in the singing as we present Mr. Tommy Loy and our national anthem.
balloons, the indication that Texas Stadium and the Dallas crowd are as high as can be for this battle between the Redskins and the Cowboys.
Pat, have you ever seen so many people that think it's going to be 3 points this way or 3 points that way, and everybody finally says, you really can't pick this darn game. These two teams play it right down to the last play and sometimes beyond that.
Maybe you could see the frantic waving of the hands inside that Redskin huddle. Those hands belong, of course, to the man who gets them sky high week after week, George Allen. Mark Mosley.
They are bandaged up, too, you know it? They've got nothing but ace from the top of their head to the bottom of their toes.
There's George. Laverne Torgerson near shoot. Mark Mosley will kick it off for Washington. There, of course, Tom Landry. Mosley, number 3, will kick. The Dallas Cowboys will have deep Preston Pearson and Doug Dennison. Pearson is 26, Dennison 21.
Pat, we'll try to take a look at Wysocki or Rusty Tillman or maybe even Frank Grant, who, other than catching the football, is on every special team for the Redskins that can possibly be. So they go all ways. Nobody gets to sit around and watch much.
Mark Mosley kicks the ball unusually high, keeps it up in the air a long time, so coverage teams have a time to go to work. Dennison and Pearson deep for Dallas. The odd man, the one who loses, is out. Almost a shank by Mosley. Ball coming down way upfield. Handled by Bob Brunig, the linebacker. His first kickoff return of the year.
And Bob Brunet, that all-around halfback, went down and made a pretty good tackle into that and is holding his arm. He's hurt on the first play.
Bob Brunet has been beset by injuries throughout his career. That's the Dallas backfield. Preston Pearson and Robert Newhouse, the running backs behind Roger Staubach. The wide receivers, Golden Richards and Drew Pearson. The tight end starting is number 84, Gene Fugit, and there's the offensive line.
It's big and it's experienced, right, except for Burton Lawless, the rookie left guard.
On 1st and 10, the ball, the Dallas 28. Staubach's got a little right away. Out of the scramble, he got away from Talbot. And now running back across the middle, intended for Preston Pearson. Not to be. On 1st down on his own 28, Roger Staubach took to the air, chased by Dennis Johnson and Dyron Talbot.
They got to get some of those balloons off the field. I thought that he handed a balloon to somebody. Maybe Roger did too. There's Staubach, and he's having quite a year. That's actually against Washington, but he's got 15 TDs overall and 15 INTs, even from the shotgun.
Billy Joe Dupree in the game at tight end, and Fugit moves out to flanker now as Pearson sits down for a minute. Drew Pearson, that is. Fugit on the crackback block. Takes a shot at Brad Dusek. Great running by Preston Pearson. Crackback block by Fugit on Dusek, set it up.
It wasn't that good a block, but Preston Pearson, and we've seen him do this in 3 different uniforms in the NFL. Watch the outside as Kenny Houston comes up. Dusek strips it. Houston has a pretty good chance here to make the tackle, and Pearson just gets under him and drives it. Well, I'll tell you, they got him from Pittsburgh. That was really a gift from somewhere else.
Ron McDowell finally made the tackle after a 7-yard pickup. So it's 3rd and 3 for the Cowboys. Ball at their own 35-yard line. Shotgun time for Roger. Outside, Pearson overthrown. 4th down, Dallas. First time we've seen the shotgun today, and the Redskin defense does its work. Chris Hamburger back on the coverage.
We've got Bob Lilly up here with us, the greatest of all Dallas Cowboys of all time. And what did you think about the first pass by our friend, Mr. Stone?
Well, of course, Roger hadn't looked real sharp in the last couple of games, but I know he's had a little shoulder problem, in the last month. And of course, I think as the game goes on, he'll bring it back down because he'll have to compensate, I'm sure, for his injury.
You have your pants on, by the way. You look bigger than I ever thought you would.
I took them off for good.
Do you miss it? I guess that's the obvious question.
Well, I certainly do today. There's no doubt about it.
Mitch Hoops hangs one high in the direction of Larry Jones. Takes it up the 18 and heads into a mass of Dallas tacklers. Special teams did the job then.
Randy White, the #1 draft from Maryland, and about 3 other Cowboys really nailed Larry Jones.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. 1st and 10, Washington, ball at their own 27.
Who's the quarterback for Washington?
We'll set the rest of them for you in a minute, but that's Bill Kilmer. To Mike Thomas, and Thomas gets to the outside and gets about 5. Stopped by Harvey Martin, who chased him down from the opposite side of the field.
A reporter in the newspaper called him Old Furnace Face. You ever take a look at Billy's face? Does it look like a furnace to you? I don't know.
He does have red cheeks. I guess that's what he meant.
And young Thomas might be the rookie of the year.
Well, he's been voted on the all-rookie team already. There's George Allen crouching on the sideline, as always, talking to the defense. 4-yard pickup by Thomas at 2nd and 6. Kilmer. Intended for Jerry Smith. Got it. First down. Good catch by Smith. Knocked down by Cliff Harris.
Kilmer had just enough movement that time to make the linebackers sort of run to another area, and Smith has always been excellent at sort of getting lost in there.
Bob Lilly, why do you think this has been such a great series over the years?
Of course, Sonny Jurgensen was such an excellent passer in the early days, and here recently, George Allen, went to the Redskins in the last few years and just become a great challenge for both teams.
Boy, it sure has. There's the offensive line of the Redskins on 1st and 10. Ball now at the 40-yard line. Outside slinks Moses Denson starting at fullback, and he's got good yardage. Almost enough for a first down. Perhaps it is, before he's stopped by Leroy Jordan.
That was just an option run, Pat, where Moses goes inside, and actually Hermelin got a pretty good block on Martin, and so watch him just go to the outside. It starts out, take him anywhere you can get him. Hermelin just straightens him up, and now Moses, who's perhaps healthy for the first time since the game against the Giants, gets good yardage on the outside.
He got a first down.
A little bit of contact here as Charlie Taylor, he got cracked back on. He used to live by the crackback block, but he really took it that time.
Took it from Benny Barnes. I said first down. Now they've decided perhaps not enough. They should have listened to me.
I knew you were right.
Just across midfield, the Dallas defensive front four: Ed Jones, Jethro Pugh, Larry Cole, and Harvey Martin. The linebackers with 444 NFL games under their belt. Is that staggering?
That's a lifetime.
Crowd coming alive and encouraging the Dallas defense now as Washington has picked up 2 quick first downs. Redskin ball at midfield. Kilmer is back. Deep in the direction of Frank Grant. Cliff Harris back with him. Overthrown perhaps purposely by Billy.
Young Grant is coming in with a 21-yard per catch average, 32 catches, 6 touchdowns the last 6 games. Look at this rush now, and you can see Cole gets there a little late. Billy staggers out of there, and he knows he's overthrown. The double coverage, by the way, will probably be on young Frank Grant and not on Charlie Taylor or on one of these beauties you see right here.
Kilmer has a bad foot, bad shoulder, bad arm, but a great head.
He's a winner, too.
2nd and 10. Off play to Thomas with some room. Hit down by Larry Cole first with Leroy Jordan on the bottom. About a 4-yard pickup for Thomas.
There are 2 different ways you can try to throw against that Dallas defense you're looking at. You can either keep the backs in and block and get extra protection, or you can swing them out and try to unload to them early as possible. The Redskins in that first ball game, they did a lot of swinging with their backs and got them into the flow, and it also takes the pressure off a 183-pounder like Thomas trying to block somebody like Too Tall Jones.
A couple of changes in the Dallas defense. Randy Hughes and Randy White. They get the pass rush and they help on the coverage. 3rd down for Kilmer. Fire sideline, catch by Grant. Got it. That's good.
No doubt about the catch, because the defensive player Washington actually speared him, made a good defensive play, so that had he not been drilled, Frank Grant would have come back down inside the lines with both feet. That's what the official had to interpret.
He has developed into some threat, Frank Grant.
He just comes off the break so fast. That's where he has all the speed, is that he makes the cut. And that's the reason Billy looks for him now.
Ball now at the Dallas 35. First and 10, Washington. Gilmer to Thomas. Thomas tripped up at the line by Jethro Pugh. Cole made sure.
Boy, Too Tall is really mad at Sweeney, Walt Sweeney. He claimed he was held, and because of that, it looked to me like Bob Lilly that Too Tall made a super play. He ended up under the thing, didn't he?
Well, yeah, I think that was Jethro. But,
Jethro, that's right.
He complains about this every time we play Washington, and of course, you know, I think Sweeney does an outstanding job as guard, and of course Jethro's an outstanding tackle. But
is there a lot of holding going on, Bob?
Well, there's an awful lot going on, but that's one of the things that comes up when the Redskins and Cowboys get together.
1 yard pickup is all. It's 2nd and 9. Gilmer pitches back to Thomas. And Thomas, with that quick-footed speed of his, gets around the corner before he's stopped by Waters.
Great tackle by number 41, I'll tell you. He had a little bit of room on the sidelines. And again, the thought has been around the league that Too Tall might be too tall to play the run sometimes. You can get pretty good blocking angles on somebody that's almost 6'9".
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a lack of experience. This is the first year he's really had a lot of experience as a, you know, against the run. Last year it was all against the pass.
You really have to learn in a hurry. The on-the-job training is rather rugged.
OJT stuff, I'll tell you.
Jethro gets a rest now. Dallas makes those passing situation substitutions. Charlie Waters, after that tackle, was a little bit slow getting up. 3rd and 5 now. Ball at the Dallas 30. No scores yet. With 11:19 left first period. Gilmer goes back with a lot of time. Flag is down. A flag is down. The ball is knocked down. Good coverage in the Dallas secondary. A penalty flag is down, however.
We're going to get some offensive holding. Just what Bob Lilly and you and I were talking about, Pat. They put Charlie Taylor and Grant on the same side of the formation, automatically getting what they would consider a zone. But I thought Cliff Harris played that extremely well.
Larry Cole had an excellent rush that time, and I think he was probably the one that called the holding on. He escaped the first man very quickly.
The guy that's held usually knows. Did you ever used to say, come on, the guy's tearing my shirt off? Did you ever do that?
Well, I pointed out a couple of times to the referee that my jersey had a hole in it, and that I didn't cause it.
And nobody shot you.
Hey, Bob, we know you want to get back with your friends. Thank you very much for stopping by, all right?
I sure enjoyed being here.
Bob Lilly, one of the all-time greats. I'll tell you something else.
Thank you, Bob, very much. Penalty walked off. Ball comes outside the 40 now, just outside the 40. Referee Chuck Heberling indicating that holding penalty. And there's Dick Bielski, one of the Redskin assistants who is not necessarily too happy at this moment with the call that was just made. 3rd down and 15 now. The ball back out at the 40.
The Redskins are not a big screen team, but it would be a good time for a waggle by Billy and perhaps a screen situation.
His setbacks are still Thomas and Moses Denson. On 3rd down. Gilmer's back. This time protection is good. He's headed deep for Grant. Overthrown as Cliff Harris came over to help out. Cliff Harris and Benny Barnes in the coverage that time, and that penalty took him out of field goal range, I think. It's going to have to be Mike Bragg, and is checking in now for the Redskins.
Billy tried to run Charlie Taylor inside and then ran a corner move by Frank Grant, and both Dallas was really ready for it. Look at that Dallas bench. You don't think there's any emotion among the Dallas Cowboys? You better come to Texas Stadium sometime.
There is one more game left on the schedule, but for these two teams, this is it. The winner goes to the playoffs. The loser does not. Mike Bragg standing at the 45. Golden Richards, the lone safety man for the Cowboys, standing just at the 10. Bragg was really hanging him high in practice. And does exactly what he wants to with this one, I think. Bouncing high and into the end zone. Looked like he might have put a knuckler up there that would stick inside the 10. Well, Dallas will take it over at the 20-yard line. No score as yet in this big showdown game with 10 minutes and 58 seconds left first period. Right now, all the concern is right here at Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys have it 1st and 10, no score. Pearson comes in motion. Callback gives to Newhouse. Newhouse Burrows for about 2.
Pat, last week in the loss to St. Louis, the Cowboys didn't hit an outside receiver with a pass until the 4th period. I think if the Cowboys are really going to get on the board early, and they can't allow Washington to really score first, I don't believe. I think they've got to hit the outside primary receivers, the Drew Pearsons, and if you get those people, they've got to get the ball to them and do some damage and make Washington play some honest defense.
Drew Pearson has had some of his best days against Washington. 3-yard pickup by Newhouse. He and Preston Pearson, the running backs. It's 2nd and 7. Pearson gets the call this time, and he falls for about 2. Stopped by Chris Hamburger, among others. A lot of Redskins under the bottom of that pile.
Well, Dallas has a good rushing attack, but Roger knows you can average over 4 yards a rush, and that's what the Cowboys do, and lose games. If you're going to put points on the board against the Redskins in heaps, you better go over the airways and shake somebody loose.
3rd and 5. Billy Kilmer got an ice bag as he came over to the sideline the last break and put it on his right hand.
I wonder what's in the ice bag. Ice?
We'll have to remember to ask him that. 3rd and 5. Some sort of a holdup for a second or two here now. The football was too slick. John Fitzgerald, the Dallas center, decided he didn't like Roger the option of throwing that one. So now Rod goes back in the shotgun, and that's why Fitzgerald wanted to change. He's got to snap it back to him. Ballback's going to take off. Got the first down. Mike Bass got his head, but Roger got the first down. Outside the 35. In slow motion, watch that again.
Now, even the coach, Tom Landry, says, darn it, we can't win a football game if Staubach is our leading rusher. And he was against the Cardinals. Now, watch this. It's all covered. McDowell tries to move in, but Roger is still a darn good athlete. He's one of the best defensive backs to play Ohio prep football. He could play any place in football.
Fine baseball player, too. Watch the coverage.
Okay, this is Salter on a little contact in the secondary. That's a good thing to see.
We go back live now as Golden Richards comes in motion. Staubach gets to Preston Pearson, who's got no place to go but still gets some yards. That'll show in the books it's only about a 3-yard pickup, but that's a great effort.
I hope we never show Preston what he almost got, because there were 3 guys there that were really going to belabor him. The great thing about Preston is he's one of the great screen pass runners in pro football. He can go over and die on the sidelines and then do a lot with it. He uses blockers downfield extremely well.
Bill Brundage finally put the stop on him, man. 8:19 left first period, no scores yet. Dallas with the football, their second possession of the afternoon. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Pearson. He almost lost the football as Brundage got a hand on him just as he took the handoff. Dyron Talbot made the tackle.
Dyron Talbot. And the Redskins have had the audacity to have him introduced first as they came onto the field. Now look at that fella.
He's ready for anything.
He must have come in from Washington.
He's ready to go somewhere, too, I think.
Hey, Cowboys!
Enthusiasm. 3rd down now for the Cowboys. 3rd and 5. Shotgun formation again. Young is one of the running backs. The better pass. Bad snap. Staubach got the bounce. Off and running is Rogers. No, not this time. That time the clinch was put on by Brig Owens, who started at free safety, and they moved Salter over to the cornerback. Staubach had to come out of the pocket. He almost got the first down, but he was a yard short. So we'll get our first look today at Mitch Hoops.
Oh, Hoops, one of the better passing punters in the history of the game. If he throws one today, I guarantee he'll go right to the bus station from here.
He has also been known to take off and run with it. Eddie Brown and Larry Jones back for the Redskins. Hoops, the rookie. Redskins are going to try to set up a return. Hoops was not too good a kick. Eddie Brown is down there interfered with. Mark Washington was down too soon. The punt was short. Flag is down.
Now, the gamble by the Redskin really wasn't one. Everything was free after that because the infraction was made by Washington down under the punt. So actually the Redskins could go ahead and fumble it and fool around and really not lose possession of it. They're going to get a pretty good walk-off here against the Dallas Cowboys.
Mark Washington, the man who was down underneath the punt, never saw the ball come down.
They're supposed to look.
I think that's one of the first things I can ever remember being coached on. As soon as you hear the ball hit, look up and see where it is.
Find out where the bench is and go over and sit down, right?
Just get out of the way. Flag down. The penalty is going to be walked off against Dallas. Washington interfered with Eddie Brown, who was back trying to field that punt. Here's the walk-off now.
A popular decision.
Ball comes all the way out to the 40 now. There's the indication of what the infraction was all about. 6:37 left in the first period now. Let's look at that again.
It was a legitimate call. It was inadvertent, as you said, Pat. Watch Washington now, right at the top left. He just brushes him as he's trying to make it. The call was good.
I think Washington probably thought that Larry Jones was going to handle the punt, so he wasn't looking in the right direction. Look at this. Underneath all that is Bill Brundage. They say you got to play with pain, but that's a little too far.
They strapped up all the ribs again and put on his flotation gear. He's a big Colorado mountain bear, isn't he? Look at the size of that defensive tackle.
He had sore shoulders going in. He must have injured him again. But that's how much this game means to both teams. First down, Washington. No score as yet. Kilmer brings the ball back to Mike Thomas. And he sort of sifts through for about a 4-yard pickup.
You know, they tested the Redskins on energy output from like a standing start. And that little rascal, Mike Thomas, at 182 pounds, was the highest guy on the Washington Redskins for immediate muscle into action, you know.
Boy, it shows.
Hey, he's got a chance for 1,000 yards, but he's got to have a biggie today. And, of course, the final's got to be a strong performance, too.
Bill Gregory now, the Dallas defensive tackle in place of Larry Cole. And Gilbert fires down the middle. The ricochet falls into the hands of Benny Barnes, and he can't hang on. Barnes had a clear shot at that.
I'll tell you, Kilmer's mad because he didn't throw a great pass, but he did get the ball to Jerry Smith wide open. The fact that Barnes didn't catch it, boy, in the offseason, he might wonder about not catching this easy floater. Here's the pass. Down the middle. He's waiting for Smith to clear the linebacker, and he's there. Leroy can't do it. Boy, that's the kind you really have to catch. That's a cripple that got away.
Ball right in the basket. It's third down now and 6 to go. 5:57 left first period. No score. Dallas and Washington. Kilmer still has as his setbacks Mike Thomas and Moses Denson. Taylor is split wide to the left. Grant is wide to the right. Kilmer back. The rush almost got him, but Thomas is wide open deep in Dallas territory. Inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Stopped by Cliff Harris and Mark Washington.
I don't know how Kilmer got it off. Watch the stunt now. Randy White goes to the outside from that linebacking spot and dives, and Kilmer throws sort of a jump pass. And actually, Thomas had come from a double wing-back position. He'll come from the left side of your screen now, and you'll see him circle all the way across. The hope was man-to-man coverage. And right now, Thomas doesn't have a man. Now he does.
Kilmer threw that ball backing up, being rushed, and falling to his left. He got it first down, though. Ball at the Dallas 37. Washington. Their second penetration into Dallas territory. Kilmer wants more. Deep for Frank Grant, who broke the pattern, I think. And Kilmer thought he was going where he didn't go.
Boy, Dallas secondary, though, is bumping people downfield, which allows you to knock a guy off stride. And if he's trying to get to the corner, he loses the desire to get there. Kilmer may ask young Frank Grant, who's really come on to be a super receiver, but he's going to ask him, how come you broke it on me? I wonder if they ever answer. I don't think the receivers answer.
Not after a pattern like that, you don't.
Only after the touch, right?
Number one, you're out of breath and can't. And number two, you're a little bit ashamed, I guess. Second and 10. Clock's down to 5 minutes and 14 seconds left in the first period now. Kilmer takes to Thomas. Sets up the screen to Moses Denson out to the right side. Charlie Waters right there.
Ooh.
Banged by Leroy Jordan.
I think Leroy just wanted to get his attention. I tell you, it was a good call and almost a busted play, but the Redskins have a have an unusual way of salvaging what looks like a busted play. The screen was set up too far upfield. You'll take a look at it now. Watch that stunning Dallas defense. They begin to take all kinds of wild twisting angles. Billy flags it left, and this is sort of that screen. Now watch where Moses is. He's right in between all the blockers. Actually almost runs over. I believe that's Lynn Hawes, the center, that's trying to help him.
Right.
Watch Leroy now. Welcome to Texas.
He got his attention, I think. 3rd and 6. Ball now to Dallas 34. Summerall on a semi spread out his rush and taken down hard by Harvey Martin. Randy White and Harvey Martin, two young, good football players, put on the rush.
Well, Harvey Martin from East Texas State, about 255. Watch this. Too tall there, and Martin came right over Hermele and came down on Billy's head.
Big play by Harvey Martin on 3rd down. Makes it now 4th for the Redskins. Mike Bragg into punt. Golden Richards deep for Dallas.
That was a 37th sack for the Cowboys this year, and they've looked just that wild.
Bragg hangs one very high this time, angling for the sideline, out of bounds. It's going to be inside the 10.
Shows you the detail work, though, Pat. They've been working all week. The Redskins don't really work real hard because they're professionals, but they've been working on hang time by the punter and getting that ball out of bounds with no run back.
Ball went out of bounds just at the 10-yard line.
All right, keep going, girl. Keep going, girl.
Pro football is really tough, isn't it?
Changed a lot since we played.
We've changed a lot, too. That's what scares me.
That is frightening, isn't it? Right now, it's 1st down, Dallas. The ball just outside the Dallas 10-yard line. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left, first period. Still no score. Roger Staubach from his 10 goes back to pass. Outside, Golden Richards overthrown. Covered by Brig Owens and Bryant Salter.
And Brad Dusick, the linebacker, tried to really get penetration. The Redskins don't lead the world in sacks, but they do get close enough, often enough, to sort of intimidate a quarterback. It looked like Roger just pulled the trigger on that one too strong, just hoping he could get it out of there and pray for a great catch by Richards. And I would imagine Golden would be a man to watch because Drew Pearson's going to have some company all day.
I would think so. 2nd and 10 now, deep in their own territory. This is when the Redskins squeeze you. When they get you in situations like this. Draw play. This time it's Doug Dennison straight ahead outside the 15. To up about the 17, stopped by Harold McClinton and Bill Brundage.
Boy, a smooth move by Dallas. Now watch they catch Dennis Johnson, 61, stunning. 61 will come flashing through there. Look at this. Ball carrier runs right by him. Good call against a stunning defense. Run something very straight ahead and see if you can cut one of the guys off.
George Allen, ever enthusiastic head coach of the Redskins. And now it's 3rd down and 4. Shotgun time for Dallas. Good protection this time. Drew Pearson sees it bounce off his hands, almost picked off by Harold McClinton. Pearson headed back across the middle. Couldn't quite find the handle.
Actually, Roger ran Preston Pearson up, the man in motion, the other one, and the little guy tried to come under Drew Pearson. I thought he might have caught Harold McClinton out of the corner of his eye. Ball should have been caught.
Pearson had complained during the week that they hadn't been throwing enough balls to him. That's what you get when you complain. Across the middle. Mitch Hoops. Back at the 2-yard line. Larry Jones, the single safety man, but I imagine the Redskins might put the rush on here. Nope, they're going to set up a return. Jones will handle it at the 44. Try to cut back this way. Did not. Tackled by Mark Washington, who's down early again. Special teams so far have been more than adequate for both teams. Washington ball straight ahead is Mike Thomas, hit by D.D. Lewis from the outside linebacker spot.
What Billy Kilmer is telling the Dallas defense is, all right, darn you, you sacked me the last time, you embarrassed me. I'm going to run straight at you just enough to maybe make you stop twisting and doing all the stunning up front. It usually doesn't work, but it sounds good up here in the booth.
Mike Thomas has to leave the game for Washington. That's another injury that they can't afford. His place is taken by number 36, Ralph Nelson. Larry Brown now is the other running back. So Brown, the fullback. Ralph Nelson, who just came in the game, straight ahead again 2 times. Let's see if we can't cut down on some of Leroy Jordan's pursuit, perhaps they're saying. The way to keep him home is to run at him.
Well, notice that Cliff Harris is up trying to make the tackle. Now watch Schonke on your left. He crosses with Hawsey. This is just an old Joe block inside, simple football. Leroy's there. Nelson almost breaks that one. And Harris is pretty close to the line of scrimmage. He's a sticker there.
Cliff Harris, a fine football player. 3rd and 4 now for the Redskins, who all of a sudden have decided the running game is what might work. Now it's an odd defensive setup for Dallas as Kilmer changes plan. Outside, he drops to Larry Brown, and he's got the first down. Larry was not able to work out all week because the Redskins were preparing for this game, practicing on their artificial turf, and it's just too tough on his knees.
Yeah, he really doesn't like the artificial turf, but he's always been a great pass receiver. Look at him check out now. White's handled there by Stark. Good play, though, and Billy Kilmer is nibbling away right now. He seems to have found a little bit of a way to go against that Dallas defense. Hit him hard a couple of times and then do something very basic and with a little finesse written into it. You know? It's like a hip pointer maybe for young Thomas. They're working on that area that is so vulnerable for the football player, particularly a running back.
Out on the field now, it's 1st and 10. Ball at the Dallas 40, and straight ahead comes Larry Brown. Brown for about an 8-yard pickup, stopped by D.D. Lewis.
I tell you, Lynn Hawes and Schonke and Sweeney are doing a great job inside. They cut Leroy Jordan clear down that time. Nelson came through clean.
Larry Cole is the defensive tackle on the right side of the Dallas defense, and Jethro Pugh is the other. So they're not running at any weak sisters by any means. 1:45 left, first period. No score. 2nd and 3, Washington. Larry Brown again, burrowing underneath. Not quite a first down, but close.
At that time, Too Tall Jones was backed off in that stunt position that we've seen the Bob Lillies and people do over the years. And the Redskins luckily ran right at it, and Too Tall wasn't up on the ball. Now see where Too Tall is, the right part of your screen? He's not even up on the ball. Boy, this makes your middle linebacker have to fill in a hurry, which Leroy did.
Substitution for Washington has a double tight end set up now as Alvin Reed. There's tight to the right side, Jerry Smith tight to the left, and Charlie Taylor is the flanker. 3rd and 1. Take. Looking for Taylor. He got Jerry Smith. He couldn't quite hang on. Just on the fingertips of tight end Jerry Smith, Randy Hughes was close by.
In most of those short yardage situations, the Redskins have been running about 3 of 4, and they haven't been real successful throwing on it. But again, Billy was a little high with it, a little beyond. Pretty good gamble, though. What can you lose on it? You know nobody's going to perhaps intercept that kind of a pass.
So it's 4th and 1, and this time it's in Mosley range as Mark Mosley steps in with Joe Theismann set to hold it. Ball will be put down at the 38, so make it a 48-yard attempt by Mark Mosley, who ought to have a lot of confidence going for him right now.
He's 14 of 22, but he has the strong leg, and he gets up in a hurry.
Got it. 48 yards out for Mark Mosley with about 20 yards to spare, it looks like.
And just a conventional kicker.
After being in Dallas territory 3 times in that first period, Washington finally puts the points on the board for the first time. 3-0. Redskins lead it. 47 seconds left in the first period. Washington 3, Dallas nothing. Tom Landry The only coach the Cowboys have ever had.
I'll tell you where the emotion is with Tom Landry. It's inside. Before a ball game, he shakes your hand and almost tears the ring off and all. He is ready for a football game, too. Don't be misled.
I have no doubts. I played against him and with him.
He was a tough player. You
He
said he
sure
used to
was.
hit people, right?
In practice, even. That's the story of that Washington drive. 48-yard field goal by Mark Mosley. With the points on the board. There he is. Golden Richards. Let me see. Doug Dennison and Preston Pearson deep for Dallas. Mosley hits a high kickoff. Pearson at the goal line. Straight on it. With some Reds blocking in front, Pearson gets around to the outside, gets about the 22-yard line before he's hit out of bounds. Chased out of bounds by Bob Brunet again.
You don't see many kickoff returns that go right to the sidelines anymore, Pat.
We'll watch it next Saturday on CBS. Staubach throws high, picked off by Mike Bass, intended for Richards. Bass has people in front. Bass still going down to the 20, down to the 18, 15. Inside the 15 is Mike Bass. Stopped by Drew Pearson. Roger was just high with that pass.
The amazing part about Mike Bass is that he could have been out for most of this year. Against the Giants, he hurt his neck. Here's the play. Good pass blocking on this. This ball is simply flat overthrown. You can see that Golden has no chance. Now watch the run back by Bass. And watch Blaine Nye, number 61, almost go through the air and hit two of his own players. Bass, I'll tell you, is some kind of a competitor, though. Take another look at that, Patrick. Roger now getting, they're going after him. That's Salter working on him.
Right. He took Pat Fisher's place. Fisher and Staubach got into it the last time. There's something about playing that spot, I guess. In any case, it's first down. Washington. Kilmer going to work in a hurry. Looks across field, fires. Grant. Touchdown.
Oh, man, you're not going to see a better catch in that one. And he was covered. I mean that Mark Washington and another safety man, we'll see if it was Waters, they were all over him. I don't know how the kid made the catch. I don't know how Billy Kilmer picked him out. Now watch how many receivers Billy looks at. First he looks out to the right. There he's got the blocking set up. There's Brown trying to help him. Now he looks to the left, nobody there. Good pass blocking. And now he throws it into a crowd, and Frank Grant gets his 8th touchdown pass. And that might be the biggest one that young man's ever caught.
Cliff Harris was close by. And now Mark Mosley makes it 10-0 quickly. Washington now. 15 seconds left first period, and Washington has come alive.
And remember, you football fans, possession is the name of the game. Kilmer to the right, Kilmer to the left, and now down the middle because he's in trouble. Watch what Grant does with it. He puts it away and gets the body in.
That resembles very much the catch that Terry Metcalf made last week against Dallas on the first touchdown. Right in a crowd like that when Dallas had him well covered.
It takes a lot out of your defense, though, Pat, when you do have the play solved and you have the number 1 and number 2 openings closed off for the quarterback, and then he throws it to a safety valver and it goes for a touch.
Mark Mosley checking out his kicking shoe, which looks something like a sledgehammer up close. Back deep for the Cowboys. Number 21 is Doug Dennison. Number 26, Preston Pearson.
That is a strange-looking shoe. Did you have a special shoe when you were with the Giants?
I had a special shoe, but it wasn't anything like that.
Did you even have a shoe when you were with the Giants?
Not when I first came up. At the 35, Mosley set to tee it up. The last time he hung one almost outside the roof here. (10-0) Washington. Another big high kick. Dennison takes it about 2 yards deep. Pearson, I think, told him to stay in there and not bring it out. And for his trouble, he got about a yard. Mosley and Tom Henderson had a little talking session going on as Henderson took a shot at him after he kicked the ball.
Yeah, that's Henderson's job, is to go get the kicker and perhaps ruin that field goal put for the last period. You got to remember now, Dallas got behind St. Louis and had to struggle because they don't like to have to pick up 3 or 4 TDs in a hurry, and they're getting behind again.
This is probably the last play of the first quarter. Newhouse and Pearson are running backs. Pearson goes in motion. It'll be Newhouse. And Robert comes close to first down yardage. Clock shows no time left first period. Mike Bass got him out of bounds. Mike Ditka is angry about something on the Dallas bench. Here's the play again. Newhouse to the outside. Newhouse.
Over 4-yard average every time he's carried a ball in this league.
Hey, do it again. Do something. Do something. They're going to come. Oh, yeah, love it.
Preceding announcement was made on behalf of the National Football League. First period is over. The Redskins struck quickly. Right at the end of period number 1, they lead Dallas 10-0. No loss of enthusiasm in Dallas, though. Not yet, at least.
There's that double wing formation now by Staubach.
2nd and 1 situation. What a crackback block on Brad Dusek, and Newhouse rolls for first down yardage. Dusek took a crackback block, the likes of which I haven't seen in a long time.
All right, what's the right part of your screen now? This is just a toss play out of the double wing. There it was. It was Fugit, the big tight end, and he buried him. And Rayfield Wright is slow getting up. Number 70 just went by trying to make that block as Newhouse really gets some gang tackling on him. And the big offensive right tackle, perhaps the best in football, is on the ground, and they're looking at his wheel.
See if we can pick up what happened to Rayfield Wright with Newhouse, the ball carrier.
This is one of the reasons that the tight end, Fugit, is used outside, and they have used 3 tight ends, the Cowboys have. Look at this block. Dusek, the linebacker, is buried. That one comes from nowhere, and the cornerback's got to yell, look out for the crackback. There's Rayfield now. He looks like it's the lower right part of the leg.
Rayfield Wright is still down. His substitute probably would be Bruce Walton, but they'd like to have Rayfield Wright. No, it's not. It's Pat Donovan.
Yeah, it's Donovan. Sandy, get on number 67, Donovan, that just came in for. Okay, we'll see if they run away from there or let the kid get his feet on the ground. Now listen to me.
Ernie Stautner.
You know what he's saying, don't you? I'm going to tell you this one more time, and you better get it right.
And if D.D. Lewis knows what's good for him, he will do it right. Ernie Stautner can hurt you walking by. First down, Dallas. Straight ahead. Carried by Pearson. Let's see what happened on an injury again if we can pick it up.
The most vulnerable time for a big tackle is downfield. Here he is trying to line up Brian Salter, who just sort of disappears. And you can see the contact with the hip of Salter with that right lower leg of Rayfield Wright, a giant, big, tall man that's right now on the sidelines. Young Donovan is in, the rookie from Stanford at right tackle.
That first down carry, by the way, was by Dennison, not by Pearson, but now Pearson is in the game. 2nd and 8, a 2-yard pickup for Dennison. Draw back, straight back. This time he's got it. Golden Richards, he's loose. Couldn't get down. Gonna score.
That's the 4th touchdown catch for Golden Richards. The 4th touchdown catch. And Mike Bass just climbed up on his back, and Golden shook him right off. That's the grasshopper I'm talking about. That kid can play.
Golden Richards.
Watch the big pass rush now from the right side by McDole over Donovan. He shows up right away. The ball is thrown, and watch Golden Richards take the punch from behind. And Bass doesn't cover himself at all. He really leaves himself in real trouble. And now it's a foot race that the young man from Hawaii is going to win.
He's the fastest man on the Cowboy team. So forget about the chase. Tony Fritsch is going to try to make it 10-7. And does. Cowboys right back in it with 13:46 left before halftime. Golden Richards. Touchdown pass from Roger Staubach. Here it is.
And Patty didn't catch a single pass in the loss to St. Louis last week. Caught this one. Ball game again.
Yeah.
Back to a ball game again.
Yes, sir.
Hello, America.
Tony Frisch to kick it off in the direction of Larry Jones, who's in the middle. Nelson and Brunet by his side. Going to be Jones. Takes it up to 3, a line drive type kickoff. Special teams again do the job. Billy Joe Dupree broke the wedge. The tackle was made by Randy Hughes and Tom Henderson. Billy Joe Dupree, the backup tight end, really broke the wedge. Watch him come into this.
All right, Billy Joe, and he's just getting himself healthy this year. Oh, gave himself up to do it. Also a big tackle in there by Henderson, who's great on special teams for the Cowboys. We suddenly have a football game, you know.
Washington 10, Dallas 7. First down, Redskins, the ball at the 24. Check out the running backs. It's Larry Brown and Nelson. Outside to Charlie Taylor. Can't hold on. Hit by Mark Washington. As I'm sure you know, Taylor only needs 3 passes to break the all-time pass receiving record.
He still needs 3. Watch this play by Washington now. The ball is quickly thrown out. The turnout. Watch young Washington. Ball's already gone, but this is a free one for a defensive back, especially a corner.
So it's 2nd and 10 for Tillman and the Redskins. They lead by 3 with 13:36 left, second period. Taylor is flanked to the right. Frank Grant is left. Out of your picture at the moment. Deep for Taylor. Underthrown. Washington again. The single coverage on Charlie Taylor. Mark Washington right with him. Taylor down on his knees and disgusted.
All right, let's take a look at it. Billy Kilmer threw it a mile. It was not a classic throw. Here is a classic confrontation. There's the bump by D.D. Lewis. Now watch the two. They'll struggle with their hands a little bit. The receiver really has the advantage here, and Washington played his eyes. He got back and went for the ball and got away with it. Super play, back to back.
That double coverage that Charlie Taylor, in fact, told us about, which in recent weeks had been going to Frank Grant, apparently is going that way again because Washington has had Taylor alone for the last 2 plays.
That's right. They had D.D. Lewis in the short zone, but that wasn't even in the Redskin plans that day.
10-7 Washington. 3rd and 10. Randy White in the game on Dallas defense. Now dropping back as a linebacker. Kilmer fires outside. Grant almost caught it, but dropped it. It's incomplete. Benny Barnes right there with him.
And 3 great defensive plays in a row, and the Redskin offensive team leaves the field wondering what have God wrought, because those were 3 great plays.
So now Mike Bragg in the game for Washington to punt. We told you earlier Bragg had been working all week on hang time, keeping that ball up in the air a long time. Raleigh Woolsey back deep in the center. Standing at the 35 for Dallas, along with Golden Richards. Bragg hangs a high one. Woolsey back all the way to the 30. Tries to get to the outside, cut down by Frank Grant. Boy, he has developed into somebody you mentioned almost every play.
And, you know, Allen is something because he doesn't take him out of those teams or off those special teams. He uses him.
From Phoenix on Christmas Day. Straight ahead. Preston Pearson. A little struggle going on outside between Salter. A little tangle.
Well, I told you the Dallas defense is using contact on receivers to knock them off stride. That time Salter didn't even play the run. He came up and really unloaded on Golden Richards.
And Golden just tried to get untangled.
And I'll tell you, the teams don't do that enough these days. The Cowboys are back to the wall, and you can't let people run around and run through those zones, and the Redskins are banging people.
Must have been a pretty good bump. Golden Richards lost part of his uniform.
He's caught a touchdown pass already, you know.
He is checked to the sidelines, and Percy Howard is in for him.
What was that sign? I couldn't even decipher that thing.
Doomsday defense. Pork skins for lunch. Lunch? Whatever that means. Staubach brings the ball back to Pearson, who's got nowhere to go. Still struggling, but that's going to cost. The Redskins played that tough.
You know, it's pretty obvious. I don't know why I didn't think of it. Brian Salter's been worked over and with by Pat Fisher. And even though Pat's back in D.C., I imagine he's taught Brian just about everything that a wily veteran like Pat Fisher could teach him. And that's banging people around.
That doesn't take too long to teach, really. Pat Fisher was an artist at it. The Redskins have an extra defensive back, Eddie Brown, in the game now as Staubach goes to the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Protection is good. Roger goes deep for Fugit. Fugit had a step or two. He is saying now that he was interfered with, but I don't think so.
Well, Brown was in there and made a lunge for the ball and made some contact. Boy, Roger cut that one loose. That was about 57 yards and thrown like a spaceship.
Take a look at Tom Landry. He said he's not emotional. Look at that.
As the play is on now. He's already yelling. Oh, he jumped up. Now he's looking for the flag. Boy, you can't blame the coaches, though, for trying to get any edge. There isn't much of one out there these days.
Mitch Hoops back in punt formation. Larry Jones, the single safety man for the Redskins. This time the rush is on, and Hoops hangs one high in the direction of Jones. Oh, he's taken down in a hurry. Good coverage. A flag is down, back up about midfield. Who was that streaking down the field? Benny Barnes and Randy Hughes both down underneath that punt in a hurry.
I think we've got perhaps clipping on the Redskins.
Hoops is indicating it should be Dallas ball. Let's see. I still see the defensive unit on the field. What do punters know anyway?
I think they have to give up possession. But there was a clip. In fact, there are about 3 altercations about to break off now on every play. Looks to me like tempers are right down to where the race is.
There's the discussion. As Jethro Pugh listens in, and so does the veteran Leroy Jordan. 11 minutes, 39 seconds left in the second period. The score is Washington 10, Dallas 7. There's the indication.
Personal foul action, which is like an elbow in the eye.
Throat, nose.
Rib cage, whatever. There's George. He just gave the steal sign. He always does that, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Hold up a second. The officials are not quite ready yet.
They're having a conference, and they haven't even snapped the ball yet.
Ball at the Washington 13. There's Golden Richards. And that little altercation with Bryant Salter perhaps is more serious than we thought.
Now Kilmer's going over and telling the official to let's get on with it.
Kilmer's pointing over the left side of the field.
They want the stick spot back and make it 1st and 10. They've got right now they've got Washington with a 1st and 28.
And Billy is right. That might change your play calling philosophy a little bit.
He looked up, he couldn't have believed. He thought maybe he'd passed out for about 30 seconds.
He had a loss he forgot. There's Golden Richards again being attended to.
That might be a deviated septum, you know. They've done a little bit of work on him.
The indication on Mike Thomas, by the way, I'll tell you after this play, which is smothered by the Cowboys. Indication on Mike Thomas, the fine Redskin rookie running back, is that he has injured ribs. He is being x-rayed. He has left the Dallas side, the Washington sideline, and it's doubtful whether or not he'll be able to return.
Man, that's tough because
Yes,
he can
sir.
catch the ball. He's caught 36 passes from Billy Kilmer this year, other than the 800 and some odd yards rushing he had coming in. Boy, right now, though, that Dallas defense is really beginning to do some crazy things. They are really letting it out.
Ralph Nelson swings to the outside, and Dallas with a pursuit by Jethro Pugh. And help from Ed Jones shut it down. Ralph Nelson, who has taken Mike Thomas's place, is 6'2", and 195, with no experience in the NFL and none in college. He did play in the WFL.
And no legs. I looked at him one day, and he really, you know, he's really carrying that 190 pounds around very deceptively. He doesn't even look that big.
Watched him catch the ball a few times, and he is a good pass receiver. We might have to put some of that skill to work right here on 3rd and 3. Larry Brown, the fullback, gets the call. And Larry Brown got underneath everybody, I believe, and bounced far enough to get close to first down. Perhaps he did. It is a first down, Washington.
Running right at the middle, right off Schonke and Lynn Hawes.
Too Tall has got a little souvenir of today's battle on his shirt sleeve.
That's some blood, but that can't be from a human being that high up.
Maybe Golden Richards jumped. First down, Washington, the ball now out at the 24-yard line. Larry Brown again. Brown banging away, and Brown style hit by Leroy Jordan.
You know, Pat, I just noticed something about the offensive side of the Redskin line, the right side. They're taking very big splits to try to be able to get a little bit more room to run. But if you take the big splits, the pass blocking becomes very, very difficult, because now you got Too Tall Jones with 2 lanes to go through and a little bit of extra room or the blitzing to take place. So if you split to get the running game going, you better not split when you're trying to pass it.
That was a 7-yard pickup by Larry Brown. Then Kilmer brings back Nelson. Ooh, the wave of Dallas defense got in there. Too Tall Jones, Jethro Pugh led the charge.
Here's Jethro and Too Tall. Now watch the move by these 2 giants. Stark just can't handle Too Tall. He just threw him aside, and Jethro's already under it. Jethro always had a great under lunge from down low.
There's Tony Frisch on the sideline for Dallas. He must remember that first game between these 2 teams. Harvey Martin thinking about his pass rush move this time, and he looked serious about it.
Pardon me?
3rd and 5. Larry Brown, the lone setback. Taylor got it in front of Mark Washington. You can shut him off only just so long.
And I'll tell you, we could run something from any of the last 8 or 9, 10 years. Just a quick post, watch him back Washington off and just cut it off. And he comes off the break still extremely well. Ball was perfectly thrown by Kilmer. And Washington didn't have bad position.
He really didn't.
Pretty good pass blocking up front. Here's Too Tall now working on Stark, using that one punch. He is throwing people around today, I'll tell you.
But Billy Kilmer hung in there for first down yardage to Charlie Taylor. And now Taylor needs just 1 catch to tie Don Maynard. Now Lenny Hawes wants another ball. Taylor has passed Raymond Berry. And more facts on what a fine receiver he's been over the years. First down, Washington. Kilmer goes back again outside Frank Grant. Yes, sir. About a 5-yard pickup. Benny Barnes right with him.
Last couple of plays look like Sonny Jurgensen calling.
And throwing.
You know, and throwing. The quick post, and suddenly the quick out to the other side, and all of a sudden you have the secondary saying, uh-oh, they hit us here, they burned us there, and it looks like Kilmer's got a little tempo right now. He's moving it.
Sonny always said, as I'm sure you'll remember, the way to beat this Dallas defense is to throw it quick.
That's right. Quick out, and you come down the middle with something quick.
And he had some success over the years, I think you'd have to say. 2nd and 5. Straight ahead is Brown, but he got nothing. Let's see how that passing tempo works on 3rd down. Too tall Jones is playing the best football game I've seen him play in a long time.
Very aggressively.
Blaine Nye and some of the other offensive players. Watch Too Tall.
The stun on the
Here
other
comes
side.
Harvey Martin.
The whole bunch are big and active. And now they've been turned on.
And now in a passing situation, they make wholesale defensive changes. Randy White, excuse me.
And we got Frank Grant and Jerry Smith to this side. It's a double wing formation now. You can look right down on it.
Larry Brown, the lone setback. Kilmer being rushed and being taken. The ball's loose. That was a fumble. Kilmer's arm never started forward, but Washington got it back.
I believe Herman got it. No, it was Walt Sweeney, the offensive guard, that really was in the right place. Watch this pass rush now. And watch to the left of your screen, and you'll see Harvey Martin, the bandito, coming around with Randy White. And it's White that strips it. And Kilmer has no chance. He's looking at it. Boy, look at Jethro Pugh and those guys reacting. Sweeney's got it.
So Mike Bragg, number 4, back in punt formation for Washington. Golden Richards has apparently been doctored enough to be back in deep punt formation, and that's where he is for Dallas, back at the 10. Bad snap. Golden is going to let it bounce, and out of bounds about the 2 or 3 yard line. Mike Bragg got the job done, didn't he?
And I'll tell you, the stunting Dallas team on defense on that punt return really caused that bad snap.
Ball bounced back to Bragg, but he still got it off.
Pat, remember the old quick kick days? Watch this Bragg punt. Reisig snaps it low because of the juking Dallas thing. Watch this young man just boot it right out of bounds. Boom.
Boy, you know, he did a very smart thing, too. When he saw the ball bounce, instead of trying to handle it with his hands, he got his body in front of it. Like the good third baseman should. Staubach looks straight ahead. This time it's Doug Dennison who gets outside the 5, but not much more.
Dallas has been rushing the ball pretty well this year. They're averaging about 165 yards a game rushing. And they'll even rush out of the shotgun occasionally with Newhouse taking something inside. And, of course, Rogers not a bad ball carrier. He's averaging over 5 yards a shot himself running the football. But you still wonder if you can put enough points on the board running it.
Just looking at the book on him so far today passing, he's only completed 1 pass. That's for 57 yards and a touchdown to Golden Richards. You got him on a quick count. Newhouse has first down yardage. The Washington defense was not set. Brig Owens finally got him out of bounds. Watch this quick count.
I think Preston Pearson gets a good block for him coming out, too. Here it is. You see Nye pulling through. Newhouse goes right outside immediately. Pearson gets away with a little tackling on Chris Hamburger. And Brig Owens might have gotten a face mask, and who cares? It's a good football play.
Newhouse with first down yardage. That time got to the outside. So Dallas moves out for a little breathing room now. Outside the 15. The ball on the 17-yard line, 1st and 10 Cowboys. Dennison straight ahead. And no room there. Dennis Johnson on top of the pile, number 61. Look at that play from behind Roger and behind Dennison.
Okay, it's just from the eye. Newhouse goes to the left. And boy, I'll tell you that. Look at that McDowell make a reaction and clear on the outside.
In fact, that's an unusual stop you'll see, because in the middle of the line straight ahead, the tackle was made by the 2 defensive ends.
Both of them came through and made bookends out of themselves, huh?
With Doug Dennison in the middle. He got nothing. 2nd and 10. Try to quick count him again. This time pass protection's good outside Newhouse. Salter is right there with him. Good play by Brian Salter.
Hey, that was the test. I wondered if Brian Salter, who's tall at 6'5", could be a good tackler. He made a good tackle there on a very rugged little customer to get down, too.
About a foot taller than Newhouse.
Well, always amazed me about Pat Fisher, you know. He was scaling guys like Harold Carmichael that were 6'8". You know, he'd have to put his legs around somebody and shinny up to even get near the action.
Remember those great fights he used to have with Gary Collins? Twice a year, they put on the gloves and fought. 2-yard pickup on that carry by Newhouse. 3rd and 8. Pearson in motion, the shotgun time. Outside and badly overthrown by Roger. Staubach had the ball take off on him again. And Dallas, after getting 1 first down from out of their own end zone, it looks like there's some sort of a discussion.
A lot of penetration that time, and Hamburger now is discussion. Let's watch the linebacker Hamburger blitzing. And there's some wild action there as a lot of Redskins made penetration. Roger threw a very hurried throw. No chance.
Number 66 for Dallas.
Little holding, too, on number 66, I believe they called it out. Lawless, the rookie from Florida.
1 of 12 the Cowboys have, which is absolutely amazing when you consider they're still in the playoffs with that many young players on the team. Mitch Hoops, the Dallas punter, number 9. You're looking at his back. Down the field, number 21. You can see Larry Jones waiting. He's about 60 yards away. Doesn't look like it, does it? Hoops hung a high one. Chased Larry Jones all the way back. Ball is still loose. Dallas after it. Dallas got it. Recovery by Randy Hughes.
All right, let's take a look at it. It was a tremendous boot. Larry Jones never had possession. And now watch the rookie from Oklahoma recover the fumble away. He was probably taught in college.
Injury on the play to one of the Redskins. Looks like it. Well, I really couldn't say who it is because I really can't tell so far. It's something with a 5 on it. Looks like it could be Hamburger.
I'll tell you one thing, that Dallas bunch on covering punts and kickoffs, they have been just short of savage. And they really turned over the ball now, and instead of going in at halftime with a trailing, they're going to probably go in with a little bit of a high.
Just checking that Washington defensive unit is on the field. That's Eddie Brown. It's not Hamburger. I noticed that Hamburger was out there with the defensive unit. Eddie Brown, a member of the special teams and the 5th defensive back that Washington uses, off under his own power. Remind you again that, well, let's look at that, and I'll remind you in a minute.
Brown tried to cut off the first guy that was going for the fumble. He did his job, and that's how he got hurt. And there you can see 3 Redskins in pursuit, and young Hughes hadn't even shown up yet, but he's got 4.6 speed, and I guess he proved it.
Now I'll remind you again that during the half, the 37th running of the Gallant Fox Handicap will be seen from Aqueduct Racetrack in New York. So stick around for that, and stick around for this. The ball is at the Redskins 16, 1st and 10 Dallas. After Randy Hughes made that crucial fumble recovery. Pearson goes in motion. Staubach gives back to Newhouse, and Newhouse has got some room. Newhouse down to the 5. And Neely out in front. Harold McClinton made the tackle.
All right, the Redskins got in an over defense. Watch Preston Pearson, number 26, to the left of your screen, make the block on the corner. And now Neely downfield gets a good block on Hamburger. And Newhouse, he doesn't change direction much. But I'll tell you something, he runs in a straight line. Take a look at the size of the wheels on this young man from Houston. He's strong. Very direct person.
Direct to the goal line. He got to the 5. That's first down yardage. So it's 1st and goal, Dallas. The score is Washington 10, Dallas 7. A stacked backfield now. Straight ahead again is Newhouse.
You see that little leapfrog?
Yes. Newhouse got about a yard is all before he was stopped.
Looks like he might crawl under the rug and try to score. These Cowboys, of course, realize that there is nowhere else to go. Really, the losing team here can sort of forget it.
Manny Sistrunk in the game now for the Washington defense to play in the middle of that line. Herbert Scott is one of the Dallas offensive guards now, replacing Burton Lawless. Stacked high, and now Dennison ships with Pearson deep. Newhouse is close. Newhouse again. Oh, he's whacked down.
Harold McClinton, the middle linebacker, really stopped that one before it even started. He went over Fitzgerald and just ruined the play. What a great defensive play by the middle linebacker.
He picked up perhaps a foot on that carry, so it's third down now. 4 and still goal.
You want to see what it's like to play middle linebacker, folks? Here it is. 53, 44, it should be 97.
Dallas, in this crucial situation, wants to talk it over as we have the 2-minute warning call for both sides. George Allen and Tom Landry will be notified. Staubach has paid his visit to Tom Landry and his offensive coordinator, Jim Myers.
How about a little roll action? You think maybe he might try to stretch out that goal line defense?
That's what I would expect. Young comes into the game at one of the running back spots, and he is a better pass receiver, I think, than Newhouse. Staubach is not going to the shotgun, at least not so far. And a throw. Quarterback draw. Dallas touchdown. He's hit by Harold McClinton, but Staubach got in. He might be hurt.
Yeah, he is. What a call. And actually, it was Blaine Nye's guard on Brundage that really opened up that hole for Roger Staubach. Boy, he's quick, Pat. He sets up that block so well by that quick move of his. And we're talking sprint out and roll out, and I'm sure there was some feeling on defense of it.
Watch it again.
He's coming right at you. There's McClinton again. Watch the quick move by Roger. Boom. Like he's going back to set up. Fitzgerald's got McClinton. Blaine Nye has turned Brundage aside, and there it is.
He had no choice there if he wanted that touchdown, but to put the head down and challenge Harold McClinton, and that's what he did.
Roger's been challenging linebackers and defensive people ever since he's been in the league. He challenged McKeever once and got his shoulder broken up. Look at this move. And now straight up. Boy, he is still a quick athlete, I'll tell you that. And McClinton makes him pay.
Rogers up now. Got up without help. And I can't tell if it's knee or just shaken or what.
I think the whole system was just stopped for about 3 seconds. Watch this. It's the kind of a situation that an athlete knows when there is no breath and you think the nervous system has flat deserted you. Right here, he rolls over. You can't get anything in those lungs.
Tell you something else, Tommy, too, and you really don't realize this unless you've played, and that is you have to get used to being hit. And for the most part, a quarterback is not used to getting hit.
I never got used to it. I never liked it.
I didn't say you had to like it. Manny Frisch puts the Cowboys on top 14-10. A minute, 56 seconds left before halftime at Texas Stadium. And the game is taking on all the appearances of what we expected it to be.
Yeah, they always vacillate so much. In these games, one team takes one quarter and runs off and looks like they're going to hide. Then the other team swings back. We've seen halves go that way. And now the second period has belonged to the Dallas Cowboys. From the Golden Richards TD to that run, the keeper by Staubach we just saw.
Staubach is headed for the dressing room. A minute and 56 seconds left before halftime.
Do you think a tackle would be allowed to go to the dressing room? Let's say, sit out here, we all go in together.
We got to go in again in a minute. Larry Jones back deep. Line drive kick by Frisch. Going to be tough to handle. Jones found the handle this time. And Larry Jones got some running room and has some more. Jones outside the 35.
And he is just a little bit quick. You don't give him about another half a step on that sideline. That looked like a relay.
Forget again during the half the 37th running of the Gallant Fox Handicap from Aqueduct Racetrack in New York. There's the man who gained some fame, I think you'd have to say, last year in the match between the Redskins and the Cowboys. That is Clint Longley.
Remember the great statement that Allen was supposed to have made when he was bringing his arm back to throw that winning TD? He says, "What's a Longley?" And the ball went 50 yards in the air to Drew Pearson. What is a Longley? Now you got me.
Longley wears number 19. He played college football at Abilene Christian. And he's a Dallas quarterback who hasn't played as much as he wants to play.
Now here's an old tailback from UCLA. Look at this. We even saw some old film the other day, Pat, where Gale Sayers, the time he had like 5 touchdowns or something against San Francisco, one of the guys playing flanker for San Francisco was Billy Kilmer, for God's sakes. I didn't know he played flanker. Did you know that?
No. The word on Staubach is that he was hit in the ribs on that touchdown play, that tackle by Harry McClinton. He has gone to the dressing room where he will be x-rayed. If they're negative, he will return to the game. They can x-ray him right here at Texas Stadium. McClinton looked like his shoulder and his helmet hit Staubach in the area of his kidney. Could be he fell on the ball.
Yeah, he walked out in pretty good shape, though.
I thought so.
Now, they x-rayed my head one time, and there was absolutely nothing. It was so negative that it scared everybody.
Did they do it at the stadium?
Didn't they?
First down here. The Dallas scoring drive came after that fumble recovery. After Mitch Hoops had hit a good punt, Larry Jones couldn't hang on. Dallas recovered. Roger Staubach scored on a quarterback draw. Now it's first down Washington. They trail 14-10. 1:48 left, second period. Kilmer. Taylor. Incomplete. Knocked loose that time.
Oh. Cliff Harris just stole that from Charlie Taylor. What a defensive play. And that was the pass that would have tied him.
If he had hung on, that would have tied Don Maynard.
Yeah, but you know what if does? If lines up for the extra points, right? That was a good play by Harris.
If means you're still one behind the record. 2nd and 10.
Keep in mind that sun is right in the eyes of the quarterback right now. The skies have cleared off a little bit here in Dallas. And, well, it just went behind the cloud again. But that sun does come right into your eye there for a brief time. There it is.
Kilmer faces it now on 2nd down. He gets to Mike Thomas, who is back. Then he burns up and got him out of bounds. So 1:37 left before the half. And it's going to be a big, long 3rd down situation as Dan Reeves indicates to Tom Landry what he thinks.
I'll tell you the scary thing about the Redskins, though, they can look so bad for about 3 series, and we saw this the last time they played Dallas, before they went down and got the one that tied it up and all that. Man, they can throw together 3 or 4 plays and be down there looking at a field goal so fast.
3rd down, 15, facing Bill Kilmer now as he keeps Larry Brown as his lone setback. Mike Thomas and Taylor split to the right. Thomas in motion. Dallas would decline this penalty. Leroy Jordan involved in the discussion. And that would give them the football with 1:29 to go and 2 timeouts left, or 3 timeouts left, I beg your pardon. Raleigh Woolsey, number 45 back deep, is stopped with Clint Longley. And he has 3rd and 19 with 1:05 left before the half. The Redskins now down to 1 timeout. Frank Grant comes to the right and Taylor is left. Kilmer gives to Larry Brown. He is wrapped up by Randy White. 1 second. And we're at halftime. Dallas Cowboys at the half lead the Washington. Set to kick it off for the Dallas Cowboys, who lead it 14-10 over the Redskins. Larry Jones deep for Washington. Frisch hangs this one high. Hits it pretty well. Jones at the 3. Heads to the right side. Jones got a little alley. The Cowboys shut it down pretty quick.
Pat, let's do the status report on Roger Staubach. There's some controversy as to whether the Dallas quarterback has a cracked rib or not a cracked rib, according to x-rays taken at halftime. We noticed he's over there airing it out and throwing it again. He played with a bad rib last year, so Roger Staubach may again be the Dallas quarterback when it comes time.
There he is talking to the team doctor right now. Again, the x-rays were read here at Texas Stadium while they were still wet. And right now, the word is they appear to be negative, but Staubach seems a little tentative at the moment. 1st and 10 Redskins. Kilmer still the quarterback with Brown and Thomas the running backs. Outside, Jerry Smith. Smith was wide open, fell down, could not get up.
That was just a pick play with the tight end going out, and of course, Charlie Taylor Grant coming in. They just picked off the two men that were sort of in a solo coverage area, and Kilmer, by the way, is now 10 for 18. All right, now these are the halftime stats. So since then, it was 9 for 17, so he's 10 for 18, as I just said. Roger, 2 for 11. The only real yardage was the 6-yard bomb to Golden Richards.
Right. Cowboy player shaken up on that last play. You're looking at Bill Brundage, who's also playing with injured shoulders.
He looks like he's sweating already. The halftime must be rough in the Redskin land there.
I think he doused a little water on his head.
Boy, when he hits people, he just thinks he's misunderstood, you know.
Now, Charlie Waters was injured on that last play, the Dallas strong safety man. His place has been taken by Randy Hughes. Randy Hughes has the job right now of covering Jerry Smith on 2nd and 4. Kilmer fakes to Thomas, outside Taylor, caught. Number 2, and that ties the record. Held by Don Maynard. That's what you look at Charlie Taylor again.
And watch this. Watch the move he makes now. He drives Barnes off and then cuts it out. There's no way that defensive back cannot anticipate him going up the sideline. So you can see how late Barnes arrived.
Kilmer led him back toward the line of scrimmage just a little bit. Charlie Taylor has now tied the all-time NFL record for pass receiving, held by Don Maynard. One more, and he's the man by himself. Here's Larry Brown banging away behind the block of Ray Schunke.
Good philosophy here by George Allen and his offensive people, Dick Bielski and all of them at halftime. They've done 2 passes into that area off that same little swing that way. Now they run right into the area of Dennis Johnson, Hamburger. And they've got people sort of tiptoeing in that particular quadrant of the defense.
George Allen's had those Redskins in the playoff every year since he's been in Washington.
Kilmer's foot, the broken one that's in that funny shoe, seems to be fine. If anything, he's walking better than he does when he's healthy.
They've moved the ball now into Dallas territory. 2nd and 7. 13:30 left, 3rd period. Dallas 14, Washington 10. Thomas. Nothing doing there. Leroy Jordan.
Edwards came across and just stacked up the whole play.
Jethro Pugh involved in the tackle, too. Dallas making substitutions now.
You know, amazing stat on Billy Kilmer.
The tackle, too. Dallas making substitutions now.
You know, amazing stat on Billy Kilmer. You know, he's only fumbled the ball twice this year. Remember, he takes the snap and gives it to other people and tries to pass it. That's rather an incredible statistic. You know?
A lot of incredible things about Billy Kilmer.
Not everything.
Just about. How he's even playing this game after that terrible automobile accident he was in. Right now, he faces a pretty good challenge on 3rd and 7. Blitz is on from Waters. He doesn't go down. Too tall. Nobody around. Flags go down.
Remember, it is the intent. It's the intent to illegally ground that the officials look for. In this case, Billy Kilmer, under a safety blitz, just threw it into the turf.
Jerry Smith is all over the officials, arguing that he was close to where Kilmer threw the ball. Watch the safety blitz.
And it makes no difference. The left of your screen, watch Waters coming in. Billy gets away from this, uses the old hand-on floor trick. Now the ball is thrown, and whether a receiver was around or not is not really the rule. It's the intentional grounding by the quarterback.
There's the call. I didn't see any receiver around. All I could see was yard line markers. That's all the officials saw, too, I think.
It's not the only defense a quarterback has.
Just about. I think he just nodded acknowledgement right there that it was a good call. So Dallas will go on the offense. Right now, Mike Bragg is back in punt formation. Dan Reisig, keep in mind, is the center. Back for Dallas. Deep is Roland Woolsey. Back with Golden Richards and Cliff Harris. Good snap from Reisig. Billy Joe Dupree challenged, but Bragg hung this one very high. Nothing doing. Ball is loose. Dallas might have it back. They do.
Cliff Harris made the fastest move I've ever seen, number 43. Almost broke out running with the ball after picking up that fumble.
Russ Tillman made the hit. And some tough hit.
Here it is, Woolsey. He catches it high. Now he gets control of it first. Good idea, because Rusty Tillman and the group, Brunet, come in, and now the ball's loose. Watch Harris quickly pick it up to the left of your screen. Well, you can't quite see it. It happens to...
Right now, it's Dallas ball. There it is again.
Watch how fast Harris sweeps in here and picks that thing up.
Dallas 1st and 10. Staubach, I believe, is the quarterback. And he is. And he's going to test out his arm right away. It throws outside. Drew Pearson, yes, sir. With a broken rib, not too bad.
The best throw Rodgers had all day, and he did it very calmly. Just an average sideline to Drew Pearson, who runs a good pattern. But remember, Pearson's real danger for the defense is when he comes across the middle after coming under in a zone defense against the zone. Number 88 can really clear it.
In the event you might have joined us late, Staubach, in scoring the second Dallas touchdown on a quarterback draw play, was hit right at the goal line by Harold McClinton, and I mean really popped. He had to leave the game, and either he has a cracked rib or he just has sore ribs. The way he threw that one, it looked like it just sore. Newhouse, over the left side of his offensive line, stumbled and fumbled for about 6. Stopped by Brig Owens finally.
There's the man from the Navy, right? Went in and did his tour of duty and then came back to pro football and has always had to prove something. Everybody always says, well, he's not that good a thrower, or he doesn't read. He's a pretty darn good football player, I'll tell you that.
Redskin player is down. Right now, a Redskin player is being administered to. That's Bob Brunet. But out on the field, one of the Redskin defensive players is down and prone at the moment. Right now, with 12 minutes and 2 seconds left, third period, Dallas leads. Second and 5, Cowboys now. They lead 14-10. There's Harold McClinton, who was shaken up on that last play and left the game.
Guess who's in now? Rusty Tillman.
Rusty, number 67.
Huh?
Second and 5. Roger Staubach, the Dallas quarterback. Newhouse cuts upfield, first down. Newhouse. Stopped by Mike Bass. There's Harold McClinton being administered to on the Redskins sideline. Good blocks that time by John Fitzgerald and the whole left side of the Dallas line, in fact.
Boy, Newhouse really cuts it back in good shape. He's no Franco Harris, right, about getting the speed to get outside. Watch him cut this back. You can see Fitzgerald and company working to the top. Lawless. I'll tell you, Newhouse is a rough customer.
Took a pretty good hit at the end of that run from Brad Dusek. Staubach with the front handoff to Preston Pearson. Nothing doing there. Staubach went down momentarily. The Redskins collapsed on that one in a hurry. Brundage and Talbot, the 2 defensive tackles.
Keep in mind that Roger likes to clear out a zone and then bring Drew Pearson across at full gallop. And I think number 88 catches it coming across normally. He dropped one early in this game, but he usually hangs on to it in traffic and really is full out.
With Tom Brookshire, this is Pat Summerall at Texas Stadium in Dallas. It is odd man out here. This is the showdown. The winner goes to the playoffs. The loser has one more game to play, and that's it. Fugit goes in motion. McDowell jumped quickly.
So did Rayfield Wright. Might have jumped by a full count. It looks like Dallas might have done one of their illegal procedure penalties.
That's right.
Oh, Roger threw the ball back and hit the official right in the head. Number 20 there. Frank Sinkovitz. Sinkovitz looked around to see if he was in the play or something.
So the situation now goes to 2nd and 15 with 10 minutes and 20 seconds left to play. Third period. McClinton comes out. There's Bill Kilmer observing the festivities. He's gotten rid of the ice bag that he had on his right hand during the first half. Shotgun. Deep for Pearson. Again, Houston and Brig Owens. Pearson had not much chance, and it didn't appear to be anything wrong with Staubach's arm then, did there?
He really cut it loose. It looks like, if anything now, he's maybe concentrating on being smooth with a rhythm because he's thrown the ball very well since he's gotten the tape on him that's under that jersey. 3 for 12 for 72, and most of that the one bolt with a touchdown that really brought them back from nothing. They were down 10-zip at that time.
That touchdown pass from Staubach to Golden Richards, who made a heck of a move to score on that play. Shook off Mike Bass. Completed a 57-yard touchdown. Drew Pearson comes wide to the left, and Richards goes to the right. Fugit in motion. Staubach nothing doing. The sack came from the outside in the person of Dennis Johnson, who got around the corner.
Johnson just kept coming. They were trying to bring Pearson across the middle on the pattern we talked about. Roger just had a lot of time to do it. Pearson just didn't clear. Neely's already on the ground, and the second-year man from the University of Delaware sacks Roger the Dodger.
I think probably if Staubach had not had sore ribs on that play, he might have taken off.
Mitch Hoops and punt.
Here's Mitch Hoops with Larry Jones deep.
Just made network TV.
Bob Brunet and Joe Theismann on either side of Jones. Hoops hit another good one. A dandy punt by Hoops. Jones fields it at the 14. Special teams are right there again. Randy White and Mark Washington first on the scene. Charlie Young also made him commit himself.
How about the team speed, though, by the young Dallas team? That's where you really see it on those specials, when they really make that closure fast.
Watch him close in on Larry Jones right here.
When it starts.
It is Dallas 14, Washington 10. Redskin ball. 1st and 10. Ball to Washington 21. Kilmer. In the direction of Frank Grant. Right back with him is Mark Washington. No interception, out of bounds. But good coverage.
Oh, ball stayed up there a long time, though. You know, it looked like the Hindenburg, for God's sakes. The thing you can't take for granted is that Kilmer threw a 96-yarder, so you know he'll throw it deep in his own territory. Washington has a great position for a cornerback, making the guy run right up your back. Now he leaps. Looks like he might even have possession for a minute, but he's OB. Grant makes sure he's OB.
So it's 2nd and 10 for the Washington offensive unit. That setup remains the same. Lenny Hawes to center. Ray Schonke. Walt Sweeney to guard, Stark, and Hermeling the tackle. Larry Brown is hit by Harvey Martin way behind the line of scrimmage. Still gets out of it. Finally, Cliff Harris makes sure. Harvey Martin shot into the Redskin backfield before Brown got the ball almost. Watch this.
Now, you've heard about a lot of great Dallas defenders. This guy could be one of the all-time greats and be right with Bob Lilly and all of them. Boy, that was some kind of a move. And now Larry Brown is just trying to survive.
Mark Washington and Cliff Harris made sure. A loss of 1 make it 3rd and 11. Today's attendance at Texas Stadium, 61,091. Not a blue seat entry anywhere. Dallas 14, Washington 10. Kilmer goes back to pass. This time the protection is adequate. Frank Grant got it coming across the field. First down. Kilmer put it right in there.
Dallas almost lined up in a 3-5 that time, and Kilmer had the time to pick out a receiver, but I can't believe that Dallas didn't have enough people to cut off that zone coming across the middle. And boy, this young man has really become a first-class receiver in a hurry.
He caught another touchdown pass today to make that 7 in a row. Pass protection was good. Here's why.
Of course, then they can double up. It's 5 against 3 now. There's Harvey. He didn't even get off the line of scrimmage that time.
First down, Redskins. The ball now moved out to the Redskin 37. 8 minutes left, 3rd period. Kilmer takes to Thomas. In the direction of Grant. This time a little too far as Benny Barnes was right close.
Benny Barnes really played the out very toughly that time, and he is really going to be suspect to a deep one. There's Darwin Talbot, one of the handsome Talbot brothers. Oh, he's some kind of a player, isn't he?
They asked him to do a radio interview about what he thought about the Dallas Cowboys, and he gave them a heck of an answer, but they couldn't use any of it.
In so many words, right?
2nd and 10.
He is a Texan, by the way, Mr. Talbot is.
This time it's Brown straight ahead. Cliff Harris has to come up and help on the tackle again. Harris from his safety spot. Bill Gregory in a defensive tackle now helped on the tackle.
Boy,
excuse me, Tommy.
And Pat, you know what I noticed now? That linemen are getting up and pointing at the defense, and the defense is saying, is that right? There are really hard feelings right now on that line of scrimmage. And the only sane person right now, it looks like, is Billy Kilmer. This group right here is angry, the Dallas defense, and they may be the reason that Dallas either wins or loses this football game.
Right now they've made a change so that they have their passing defense in there. They think Kilmer's going to throw on 3rd and 4. The lone setback is Brown. They thought right. Brown coming out of the backfield. Larry Brown is claiming he's held, and I think he was.
I'll tell you, they lined up in the 3-man front, and then Dede Lewis blitzed. And so Leroy Jordan goes over. Watch Jordan to the right part of your picture now. He'll grab 43. Watch the right part. There's Larry Brown trying to swing, and Jordan does collar him just a little bit. Good defensive play when you get away with it.
So it's 4th and 4 out of field goal range. Mike Bragg in the game. Golden Richards is the single safety for Dallas. Last time they had Raleigh Woolsey back there. And he was hit by Tillman and fumbled. And does Bragg ever catch this one? Richards is going to let it fly. And it goes into the end zone. Fine punt by Mike Bragg again. So the situation remains the same. 14-10. Favor of Dallas. Dallas leads Washington 14-10. First down, Cowboys at their own 20-yard line. 6 minutes, 58 seconds left, third period. Redskins shift as Pearson goes in motion. Fake, Mr. Preston Pearson. Fires down the middle. Drew Pearson got it. Harold McClinton put the hands on him, and that's all they had to do.
That's the play where he comes across the middle. This time he did it from a man in motion. We've seen Isaac Curtis, the great receiver for Cincinnati, do the same thing. Now watch this. He'll go in motion. He isn't big, but I'll tell you one thing, baby. He can catch it. And he's quick off the move. Here's the ball. And Roger laid it right under there. Possession was the main thing here.
He ran a long way to make sure he caught that pass. First down yardage from Staubach to Pearson. Ball out now at the Dallas 39. Fugit comes in motion. Sets up the screen, and it's set to Newhouse. Newhouse cuts back inside. Newhouse, first down in Washington territory. Down to the 42. Finally stopped by Ken Houston. A beautiful screen set up by the Cowboys.
Now, Pat, he's about 205 pounds. He's only 5'10". He may not be that tall any longer. But, you know, he has 56 yards rushing already on 10 carries. Now, watch him set up. Fake the block a little bit. Now the screen sets up. Watch Fitzgerald, Nye, all of them out in front. And Newhouse really sets up these blocks and stays in between them, makes the offensive lineman look and feel good. And Houston finally makes the stop.
That's the first down, Dallas. And Newhouse gets the call again. Down close to the 40-yard line. What a perfect guy he is to screen to, because you can lose him so easily in there.
Well, and you know, other than that, too, Pat, the blockers like to know where a guy is. Some people will be flamboyant and go out to the outside trying to go 100 yards. He got in between those two guards, and baby, they like that when they, okay, now we can do a job for our guys.
He picked up 3 on that last carry, so it's 2nd and 7 now. Redskin front 4 as Dennis Johnson, Ron McDowell at the ends. Dyram Talbot and Bill Brundage are the 2 tackles. Linebackers are the same. William Richards in motion. draw play, and Newhouse did get the workout. Newhouse breaks a couple of tackles, gets close to a first down. Fine run. Stopped by Brad Dusek. It looked like he had nothing, and he got about 6.
Now, Talbot has a hold of him. So does McClinton. Watch this. It's sort of a, let's see how late a draw it is. It's a quick draw. He looks for the block there by Lawless, gets it. And right here, he just flat broke a couple of them. That's Dusek making the stop finally.
There are those who say he's not a very good running back. Looks like he is to me.
Well, everybody that said that has never played football. That's all I can tell you.
Dallas team, Dr. Knight. 3rd and 1, and Preston Pearson gets the call, and he's got the first down and more. Down to the 30-yard line come the Cowboys. They lead 14-10.
And a big block by Newhouse, number 44, sealed off Brundage on the right side. Let's see if we can take a look at it. Watch 44. Let's see if he seals it off. He's looking. Actually, he didn't do much but get in Preston Pearson's way, but it worked.
Ken Houston finally made the tackle. 3.5 minutes left, third period. Dallas in a time-consuming drive here in the third quarter. They only lead by 4. Back handoff to Preston Pearson. Broken down by Harold McClinton, the middle linebacker, who met that block in a hurry.
And is feeling a little bit worse all the time. Harold made a good stick then. I remember he came out a little bit woozy with the bell rung, and Harold made a good stop, but this really catches up with you. Now, the funny thing about both of these ball clubs, it's not funny, is that they are great fourth-period football teams. And I think the Redskins have played in 5 games that they lost on the last play of the game. Am I correct in that? Or that they won or lost the last?
Won or lost, yeah. But they've only lost 4.
That's right.
2nd and 9, the situation now. The ball at the 29. Rogers going to pass and does to Fugit. And Fugit is almost decapitated by Ken Houston.
Well, the Redskins blitzed that time, trying to go with the frequency of the pass, and Roger had the perfect play call. Watch Hamburger coming right in. Roger just takes a step and a half. A little jump pass. Fugit really gets collared here by Kenny Houston. Well, that is tough.
About a 6-yard pickup. Tom Landry looking on. Not necessarily just looking. Call it for Fugit. Now they got a call. He wanted a timeout. He got it. He knew that Fugit might be a little bit woozy. He set in Billy Joe Dupree. So remember, the Cowboys have used a timeout. In a close game like this, you never know when you might need one of those at the end. Landry checking his notes. Staubach and Dupree come over to talk. Jim Myers, the other. For the record, it's 3rd and 3. Dallas. Staubach looking. Fires outside. He's got Pearson. Brian Salter there to make the stop, but Pearson got the first down.
He is the money player, the clutch receiver. Here it is. Now watch Rogers stay inside so his protection is good. They pick up the stunning action by the Redskins. And right now, the Cowboys are whipping the Redskins on the line of scrimmage. They're handling that front 4.
And you know what, Tommy? Staubach is throwing the ball better now than he did in the first half before he was hurt.
Just go over and give him a good crack in the ribs once in a while, huh?
Asking for quiet. Ball is now Redskin 12. 1st and 10. And to Duck Dennison straight ahead. Dennison close to the 10, stopped by Harold McClinton. Look from behind McClinton. He's taken some beating today.
Well, that whole bunch now, they're really using all the experience they have, and they have a lot of it. They're looking at Darren Talbot coming in under it as McDowell comes in from the outside. And then Houston pops in with help from Dusek. They are a gang tackling group. Look at that stack.
2-yard pickup for Dennison. I don't imagine they have to worry too much about the quarterback draw again here. 2nd and 8. Young is straight ahead. Young down inside the 5 to the 3. Over the left side of the line, stopped by Chris Hamburger and Ron McDowell.
Charlie Young is averaging over 4 yards a shot. He doesn't get a lot of time except near the goal line when he seemed to be getting into action. A good hole, though, and they've popped him right through there where Dennis Johnson was on defense, and, of course, Dyron Talbot's inside of him.
Burton Wallace got a good block, and so did Ralph Neely. Four seconds left in the third period as the Cowboys take off to the other end of the field. The gun goes off. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score, Dallas 14, Washington 10. We now pause for a word from your local station. The preceding announcement was made on behalf of the National Football League. Dallas ball, 3rd and 2. The ball's at the 4. They lead 14-10.
The last quarter for somebody.
The winner goes to the playoffs. The loser just plays out the rest of the season. Newhouse and Pearson are the running backs. Staubach is the quarterback. Straight ahead is Pearson. Struggling and fighting. I don't think he got it. Stopped by Harold McClinton and Ken Houston, who held him upright. Pearson got 1.5, perhaps, and Landry, it looks like, will accept the field goal here.
Now, this is a war. When you get inside the 5-yard line, every square foot has about 240 pounds on it. Look at Pearson trying to bounce off, and Dusick and that defensive group, including the backs. And that time, the backs on the goal line have to come up and support very, very quickly.
He only got a yard, and Charlie Waters is in to hold. Tony Frisch. Dallas kicker right squarely in front of the goalpost here. Dallas leads at 14-10. This would make it 17-10.
Frisch is very good up to about the 30-yard line. From in this close, the little Austrian swings it pretty easy.
This will be 25 yards away. Waters to hold. Ought to be good. It is 17-10 Dallas. So the Cowboys, in a very impressive-looking drive, almost go the length of the field to give themselves now a 7-point margin early in the fourth period. Frisch comes up to the ball to kick it off to the Redskins. Larry Jones chases it deep into the corner and takes it. Jones down the far sideline, cuts back to the middle, and then back to the sideline again. Stopped by Bob Brunig. Dallas special teams have done an excellent job today. The story of that last Dallas drive, 80 yards, that is, in 12 plays.
Pat, let's start thinking about it. The Redskins in the fourth period of play have scored 117 points. That's probably the most of any NFL team in the fourth period. They got to get 7, and Dallas has got to get the ball back and try to eat the clock up. This could be one of those dynamite finishes.
And here's a piece of dynamite right here. Washington trailing 17-10, didn't have but 10 men on the field and had to use one of their timeouts. And Kilmer, I can guarantee you, is plenty mad.
Here he comes. Look at this. Well, that was full speed for Billy. Did you see him run there for a minute?
17-10 Dallas right here. Washington ball. 1st and 10. Kilmer. The blitz is on. D.D. Lewis from behind swarmed all over Kilmer. And Kilmer might be hurt.
Boy, he really got hit by number 50. It was some of the blind side, weak side linebacker. And Billy is hurt and holding that right side.
He had a bad right shoulder hurt last week against Atlanta already. That looks to be what's hurt again.
And he had the separation against the Giants that they had to carry him out. Here it is. The rollout, he swings the backs out of the backfield. You can see him sifting through, and it was the wrong play to do it on. D.D. Lewis from the offside.
Gilmer never saw him. He's up.
And now Randy Johnson will come off the bench, and there goes a great competitor. And I don't know what he feels more badly about, Pat, having to leave the game or if he's in real pain. With him, it's hard to tell, boy.
He looks to be in extreme pain right now. He was already hurt, as Tommy pointed out. And here is Randy Johnson, possessor of one of the best arms in football.
31 for 51 for 467 yards, 4 TDs and 4 INTs. And under the gun.
Taylor and Grant both come to the left under Randy Johnson. 2nd and 18. The ball back at the Redskin 25. Johnson in a passing situation right away, and does. That might have been a lateral. That might be a lateral. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But you can't advance it for a touchdown.
You cannot advance it.
You can get possession of the football.
That's going to be Dallas ball. Yes, sir.
That was, listen to this crowd. All right, watch Nelson now. It's sort of a slip flare. And that is a lateral. There's no doubt about it. And Nelson was so mad about not catching the ball, which he should have. Leroy Jordan got it. Can you believe that?
There is why George Allen is rather cautious about playing rookies.
There's Billy Kilmer. He's got his own problems right now with that shoulder.
Roger Staubach now. Dallas first down on the Redskin 19. Pearson moves twice. Newhouse with that weak side play that's worked all afternoon. Makes it work again. Fumble. Redskins got it back.
Guy's a pretty sure-handed ball carrier. Watch Newhouse now. They run right outside of Dennis Johnson. Talbot and Johnson are stacked up. Pass is handled, and Hamburger from behind somehow forces the ball out. Number 55 caused it.
Brundage made the recovery. There's Kilmer again with an ice pack being strapped to that bad shoulder. So whatever's done from a Washington standpoint looks like it'll be done by Randy Johnson. Redskins first down, the ball at their own 15. Straight ahead is Nelson. Running with some authority right there, Cliff Harris. Made the tackle with help from Charlie Waters.
Remember, young Mike Thomas, who I think will be the Rookie of the Year in the NFC, is out. He hurt himself in that first half. So Nelson is pressed into duty, and